Okay, artists, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a different type of art that is sort of like an optical illusion, except it's going to break the suspension of disbelief in a different way than what we've been doing. We've been drawing things that are completely flat and then trying to trick the viewer's eye into thinking that they are three-dimensional. Today we're going to be drawing things on a piece of paper, but also manipulating the paper in a way that is actually 3D. So for this very first one, we're going to do a couple different types of projects, but for this very first one, we're going to be tricking the viewer into thinking that there are little tiny planes flying across the paper in a way that makes the paper look like a sky. So what you're noticing that I'm doing is folding the paper and opening it back up in a crisscross and zigzag pattern. Now, some of them I'm going to go all the way through, and then a couple of them, actually just one of them, I'm going to do one more line right here, and it's going to stop halfway, and you'll see why, okay? So, getting a nice crease till about here, and then I'm going to stop. Check this out. Okay, I have a paper that has lots of lines zigzagging across the sky. Now this is supposed to look like, oh, I think I need one more. This is supposed to look like those airplanes that you see in the sky, and they leave trails of smoke as they go across the sky. And I have one too here. Okay, so I'm sure you've looked up at the sky and seen these sort of trails that almost look like long, skinny clouds. So we're actually gonna be trying to recreate that. Cool. Watch what happens right at the end of this crease that I didn't allow to go all the way through. If I add just a little bit of a drawing, that looks like it could be a jet plane. It's not even very detailed. It's just the silhouette colored dark black. And I'm going to put some little marks on there that look like it could be the engines of the plane. I'm gonna do another one right here. This is just our warm-up drawing, okay? So I've got the tail section, the body of the plane, of the jet, the wings, and if you wanted to do more, you could, but look, now all of a sudden we've taken a piece of paper, and by making creases and just two little drawings, you've created this optical illusion, not even in an optical illusion, but just this effect that we are now laying on our backs in a field, looking up at a big sky and seeing some planes. Cool, good warm up, pretty easy. Let's do another one. I like this one. It's gonna be some toothpaste, all right? You're like, what? Well, look, we've all been at home during this quarantine and we've needed to do our chores just like normal. So even though you're not getting up and going to school, you're still getting up and brushing your teeth. And with toothpaste, one of the things that you do is squeeze it along the bottom and curl it up as you go along so that you can squeeze every last drop of toothpaste out of it. So notice that on the side of my paper, about halfway down, I did two tear marks. Now I didn't cut it, I tore it. So this is a project you can do even if you don't have scissors. So I tore it like this, okay? You see that? Only going about a third of the way. That would be half, this is a third. Now I'm going to crease it right at the edge and crease it back the other way, almost like I'm doing a fan fold, okay? Because at the bottom of the toothpaste container, sometimes if it's metal or even plastic, there's this little cinch that they do to keep the tube together so that toothpaste doesn't get out the bottom. So I'm just gonna draw little lines, okay? Just to increase this effect. And I'm going to curl it. Don't crease it anymore, but I want you to curl it tightly so that it goes like that. Okay, you see how it looks? Huh. Now, I want you to go from the edge of the top rip draw down to the next thirds. We've got 1/3, 2/3 here. Go from the bottom rip, another horizontal straight line. Darken the top line, but keep it skinny. And I want you to actually shade in underneath the bottom line. So I want you to make it thicker. This is gonna be the shadow underneath our toothpaste tube as if it were sitting on the table. Now I need you to bring the two lines together, but not completely. Bring them to a point, but leave a little bit of space right here. I need you to do a curve from the end of this horizontal line to the end of this horizontal line. Same type of curve here. Go up, up, curve, and then a couple little lines like where you would screw the cap on. Look, can you see what's happening right now? We're creating this optical illusion. Now, people know that it's not an actual tube of toothpaste, so I don't need this to be as realistic as some of the drawings we've done in the past. What I want you to do is just draw uppercase letters. You could, if you wanted to make it look even more realistic, go find a tube of toothpaste in your bathroom and try to draw the actual logo of like Crest or Colgate or whatever type you use. I'm just gonna do a generic toothpaste because I am not an advertisement for toothpaste. I don't care what type of toothpaste you use as long as you brush your teeth every day. Twice a day, actually, at least. So I've got toothpaste. Notice that I'm just doing uppercase stick letters, but I'm coloring them in dark. So it kind of looks like a logo. If you wanted to add more detail, you could, right? Then the very last step. You could shade this, but I'm gonna leave it just like that. And I'm going to tear the same type of tear over here so that it goes like an imaginary line to the top here and the bottom here. Let's see if I can get it pretty precise. I wonder if I can tear it at the same time. Now, once I get it lined up with the top of the toothpaste tube, I want to go down, up. Do not tear all the way through. It doesn't really matter if you do. I'm gonna actually move my book so you can see what it looks like easier. But I want you to crinkle and really twist the paper together so that it looks like, isn't that cool? I'm gonna crinkle it up now. So it looks like the toothpaste is coming out of the tube. I like that one a lot. That's one of my favorites. Well, I have one more that I want to show you, and it's kind of along these lines, okay? Let me get another piece of paper here. This one is going to be an iron. Now, when it comes to doing your chores or things that you need to do to help around the house at home, ironing might be one of them and it might not be. It's basically something that you hold and you use with your hand that heats up and it smooths out wrinkles in wrinkled clothing or bed sheets or curtains or tablecloths or whatever you're ironing, okay? So we're gonna draw a hand holding an iron over here. So you're gonna have to draw along with me, and then we're going to create the illusion, again, by manipulating the paper, by creating this is sort of like a type of paper art, okay? By breaking the plane between the viewer and the art, okay? So what we're gonna do is draw the iron starting up at the top near the right-hand side. Got an arch coming down and an arch, but it doesn't go all the way down the other side because we're gonna have a hand covering up some of it, okay? Let's go ahead and start drawing that hand. Starting where you finished your curved line, I want you to go down and off the page like this. Right now it sort of looks like an elephant trunk, but you'll see very quickly what this turns into. Do another little line here because the hand is gonna be going behind the iron, okay? You need to come down, we're gonna draw the thumb. Okay, give me a little bit of a thumbnail here, a little bit of a knuckle mark. the pad. We're sort of holding the iron like this. So we're drawing the pad of the thumb here, the palm, and back down off the page. Remember, you can pause the video anytime you need to, okay? In order to draw what I'm drawing. Those are little motion marks. That's sort of, these are more symbols, not super realistic, but it basically shows that the hand is moving, because when you're ironing, you go back and forth and back and forth. So now we're gonna start to draw the iron that the hand is holding. Got little dials up top where you can release the steam, make it hotter and cooler. Okay, sort of like that. Draw the edge of the iron. This side is going to stay a thin line. This one I'm going to color in a little bit, because the bottom of the iron you're going to find is metal, sort of a dark gray metal. And let's see, bring it down like this. So we're going to have where the cord plugs in. Sure enough, just like all of our drawing, there's a little highlight right there in the middle, whether it's made out of plastic or metal itself. And then the cord gonna come down like this, and just add a little bit of visual interest by putting some spots on it. Okay, let's finish the iron. Bring it over here. It actually should be about like that, because if we continue this imaginary line, it would come all the way down behind the hand and end here, and then the hand's going to cast a little bit of a shadow, so go ahead and shade in that shadow. Finish the handle. I need an oval here, and let's see, details here. Let's add some fingers. I think we can fit 1, 2, 3 fingers in there. Go ahead and give me the fingernails. Okay, looks like a hand holding an iron to me. So now it comes time to actually wrinkle our paper. We don't want to wrinkle our drawing, okay? So what I want you to do is hold your drawing still, but wrinkle this side of the paper. Do not wrinkle your drawing, okay? You go all the way to the edge of the drawing, in fact, and sort of pull the paper up right along the cusp, right along this line of your drawing, so that it looks like you are ironing. Oh, see, I got a little bit of a wrinkle on my drawing. Do not do that. But you get the idea. It looks like this is ironing the paper. All right, I think that's all we have time for, but I bet you can come up with some different ideas for ways that you could manipulate the paper, create paper art that interacts with the drawing that you made. I really like this idea of the viewer having a hard time distinguishing between your drawing and real life. Anytime that we challenge the viewer like this, I think it makes interesting and sometimes very powerful artwork. So thanks for following along with me, and I hope you had a fun time. I'll talk to you soon.